Hello guys, this is Shar. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Now y'all, out the gate is Love and Marriage Huntsville a 10 or is it a 7? Like, how do you feel like they did? I give it about, honestly, between 1 and 10, I give it about a 7.9. Almost an 8, if not an 8. Roughly maybe an 8. But I don't know, 7.9. I think the potential is there. But the jury's still out. This is just night 1, episode 1, right? But I feel like the momentum is there. I feel like they will keep everybody captivated. For those who are watching, for those who are looking, it's still a blackout going on, and that's cool. But out the gate, we see Destiny. And see, this is the problem that a lot of people had with Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's the fake narratives or the fake illusions, I should say, on people's lives or how they're moving and what they're doing and how they're looking and dressing and this and that. Destiny ought to be, well, you know what? I won't say she ought to be ashamed of herself. Because if you want to wear things that are not authentic, that's you. A lot of people do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. But when you try to act like you big and bad and you miss it and you boss woman, boss lady, bossing up and all this and that, but got a bunch of AliExpress stuff on your arm and around your neck, Destiny, you are renting, I guess, if she hasn't somehow let that go or let that get behind. You're renting what, a 7x7 or 8x8 storage unit, okay, that you could barely stand up in, because obviously she's renting it because that's all she could afford, which is no problem. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to act like, they're gonna people are making stores out of this and that. How? You can't even fit a stand with a cash register in there good. So you trying to tell us that all you can afford is an 7x7 storage unit, but yet you got 7 G's around your neck, 5 G's or 5 to 6 G's around your wrists, about 5 to 6 G's as far as that bag you were carrying, a Chanel bag. The Chanel dress, that we're talking about anywhere between $10,000 and $12,000, and it's probably more. I mean, those used to be the old price for that type of Chanel dress because it's classic. Chanel's kind of classic stuff, stay in style, and they just keep redoing it. So this dress has been around for a long time, but it used to be a certain price point. But that was a long time ago. I haven't checked on the price of that dress in years. You know what I'm saying? So, but it used to be about $10,000 to $12,000. Probably more now. I'm not even going to go to Google and figure it out, find out for certain. But those are the general price points. She had on Van Cleef necklace. Van Cleef is easy $6,000-7,000. And depending on which cloverleaf necklace, it could go up to almost 10. And she had on a matching bracelet. So you mean tell me between the bracelet and the necklace, that's over $10,000 right there. And then the purse, that's about $6,000. And like I said, the dress, we'll just say $11,000. B, really? Then she had on the Chanel earrings. Girl, come on. You know what I mean? If she's not trying to play this off as real deal, cool. No one's tripping, but we all know that she's trying to act like she's so big and bad and the boss and got it going on, and she, dropping names and girl, bye. And got a 7x7 or 8x8 storage unit. Girl, come on. I don't give a damn how many candles you trying to say you have sold between last season and this season. You are not rocking over what? Almost $20,000 in accessories, if not more. Girl, she's just sad. She ain't nothing subtle about her. If she was more subtle with the ish, it could seem real. You know what I mean? If you're gonna wear the dress just wear the bag. You know what I mean? Maybe she came up on about 15,000 or whatever. To get a purse and a bag. If you're gonna wear the dress, just wear the bag. But you're gonna wear the dress, the purse, and the necklace, and the bracelet, and some earrings. Girl, you doing too much. We all know you can't afford none of that mess. And a lot of us can't. I mean, it ain't no big deal, but I know damn well I'm not going to go around acting like this stuff is all this and that and real and authentic, and I'm driving a Pinto or a Honda or whatever. You get what I'm saying? People just automatically know it's not authentic because of the rest of your life. The rest of your life is not conducive to these things that you have on. That's all I'm going to say about Destiny. That's all of it. And then, well, I'm going to say another thing about her. Her entitlement. Her attitude. Her entitlement is too much for me. No one owes you anything, Destiny. Your ex-husband, Moses, Sonny, Mel, nobody. Nail, nobody owes you nothing. She has a disposition like someone owes her something. I know in one of these episodes coming up, Nail said that she called her, asking her, talking about, you could have told me. No, the man you was effing could have told you if she was actually effing Nail's son, which she probably was, because she probably did something with him to try to keep him, try to keep him stringing on or whatever, not knowing that he was already engulfed in some things before you decided to get with him and use him as a storyline. She's a user. And then get mad when you get played. Because she thinks that I guess she thinks she got it going on, or she thinks she's cute enough where she gonna have people, clamoring for her. But no, sis, you gotta have more than a pretty face nowadays. You gotta have the full package. You gotta have book sense, street sense, nice face, body tea, all that. You know what I mean? I mean, you ain't got to be 100%, but Destiny is just sorry on so many levels. Why would you call Nail, asking her, you could have called and told me? I ain't got to call and tell you ish. Your relationship or situationship is with my son. I don't feel compelled to call you and tell you nothing. You the same woman that sat in front of me and told a guy that we already knew. He was at my wedding. He's a friend of my son's. They didn't get too much off into the guy, but we see that he comes up later in some of these episodes where it's Nell, Lance, and the guy. That guy that she told, you stay back. I'm going to holler at you. In so many words, that's what she said, right? You sat up there and did that in front of Nell. So why do you feel like she would call and tell you, oh, he had a baby? Girl, nobody owes you nothing, Destiny. Nobody. And that's what she needs to learn. And makes it bad. She's been learning it the hard way. So why you keep thinking people gonna roll out the red carpet for you? I have no idea. Destiny is delusional. I think I've said that before. But anyway, moving on. Martell is still delusional as well. That's why they cool. Her and Martell is cool. Think of him as a brother. Both delusional. You set up that photo op for Nail to just turn around and coleslaw right there with her hand out. Hi! And because, most people that are caught off guard, they're just... they're in the moment. Someone is standing right there in your face saying hi, got their hand out. Of course you're going to oblige. You know what I mean? Unless off the rip, like, oh, this is an enemy of mine or whatever. You know what I mean? In that second, in that moment, you're just going to turn around and be like, hi. Take her hand, shake her hand, whatever. Hug her, just like Neil did. We remembered that from earlier this year. Coleslaw and Martell set that ish up. We all know that. Whose idea was it? Who knows? They might have both came up with it at the same time. They both stupid. And then he always quick to say, I feel like you owe me an apology. And then they'll crazy butt gonna actually give him one. I'm not giving you ish, Martell. Apologize to you for what? For what exactly? No, you need to apologize to me for setting that ignorant ish up. And then have her, the girl auntie or whoever that is, following us with the camera and took the picture. No, y'all need to apologize to me. That's why she sat him down in her house, in her living room, like she said, and told him, you know I don't know her. You know that was the first time I've met her is at that event when she was standing right there in my face. And then Marquez and Latricia, whatever her damn name is, Skeletor, her dumbass boyfriend, Kenley Lee. I'm going to start calling his ass Kenley Lee because he about dumb and empty-handed. Not empty-handed, but yeah, he about dumb and empty-headed. Kenley Lee. He's still trying. And Trisha is still not on what he's on. Now, instead of trying to focus on getting married or getting closer or getting engaged to her man that she loves so much, so she says, with doubt. She says it with doubt. She's sitting up here trying to stage a war against Maurice or whatever his damn name is. What's his name? I call him Marquavius. She's trying to stage war against him. Because him and Marquavius, him being Kenley Lee and Marquavius have at some point on the off season of the show become friends, or not friends, but they've become better acquaintances and have tried to understand each other and give each other a chance, which is fair. Regardless of who set it up, who started it, who initiated it, that's what they're trying to do. I don't know if it's a storyline or not, but that's what they're trying to do. And she doesn't like it. Why? Why, girl? What difference do it make if they cool or not? She want the man to hate him. Or Marquez, whatever. Why are you opening her front door and just walking right in her house? And Skeletor, why do you have your friend intervening? But see, this is what she wants because she's messy as F. Which is what Mel peeped back at their kids' little graduation dinner when they was up in her house or wherever they was standing at. When she was getting mad at Mel because Mel said she peeped that energy. She does have that energy because she's an ish starter. She likes to, trigger Marquez. She knew that man was coming to pick up their kid, their daughter or whatever. She had her friend there because she know how her friend is. She's told her friend everything, her side of the story. And she knew that her friend was ignorant enough to actually come in her house and sit up there and try to challenge that man and go off on him verbally. Now, if he had to smack the dog-ish out of her, yeah, she would have been able to press charges, but it would have been rightfully so because everybody knows to stay out of domestic mess. Stay out of these people's business. You've only gotten one side of the story. What are you even talking about? How do you even know? What are you even talking about? Because you've only heard her side. And then soon as that man came in, she lit into Marquez. It's like, girl, stay out of it. For this man, dog walk you. Because that's what would happen. What would have happened where I'm from. The chick would have got backhand slapped to the floor. You come talking to me about my kids with my ex-B or wife or whatever he would have referred to her as. She just lit into him as soon as she walked in. And she knew that the woman was going to do that because she knows by her talking to her. Like she said, she's been talking to her for 4 years now. She knows that the woman has that kind of energy. So that's why she wanted her there. And she's sitting up here barking at him with the woman instead of telling the woman to be quiet. Yeah, this chick here, you know what? Kenley Lee, he needs to walk away. What y'all think? He needs to walk away because this chick is messy as heck. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I didn't want this video to be very long. But later on, and obviously we're going to be continuing to do weekly reviews as this season progresses. But later on in the season, we'll see that what Mel was insinuating to all along is that y'all's husbands is out here foul, but y'all just don't know it yet. And if y'all do know it, you're turning a blind eye. And then when it come up in the media or come up in these Huntsville streets, y'all try to act like, what are you saying? Do you know something I don't know? That's what Kimmy loves to say that. Do you know something I don't know? You know she do. Because you have that woman's intuition, just like every woman does. You don't have to have a marriage license to have a woman's intuition with a man that you're dealing with. You just get it. You just feel it. She's had it multiple times, just like Tisha. Just because y'all turning y'all head, y'all get mad when someone tells you you're turning your head to what I know that you sensing. Because it's out here in these streets. Just because she went through it. Mel went through it. She had the little inkling. She tried to let her husband get it together. He didn't. So she had to leave. So everybody is starting to get that same thing that Mel had. Now Nell is on it because her husband is starting to talk a little more. Fletcher. He's saying things now. Because what it is, the Scott brothers think their ish don't stink. Always making jokes about other people's situations, and forget, I guess they forget that these mofos know about y'all ish as well. But they figure, I guess, to keep from exposing themselves, they can't talk about them. But see, now they starting to say more and more and more, a little bit more. And so now Fletcher has said, they need to be a little bit more transparent with their ish. And when Nell actually spoke on it, and now Kimmy and Tisha, they all battling. And Kimmy had the nerve to say, and these are in upcoming episodes, but I was just floored. Kimmy had the nerve to say, I'll throw you in the pool. Girl, bye. Kimmy, you better chill. Because you're going to be somewhere crying like Tisha. You're going to be somewhere standing in the corner with a drink with your bottom lip quivering. Because you're trying to keep from crying on camera. When you get really, really embarrassed, even more embarrassed than you've been in the past. Oh, God. This was a pretty good episode. I'll go ahead and give it an 8. You guys drop down in the comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think this season is going to be hot? What do you think about Kimmy? She ready to boss up and throw some hands. I think she needs to leave Nell alone. Don't let the size fool you, I'm thinking. Destiny's still delusional. Drop down in these comments. I do talk back. Like the video, subscribe. And until next time, guys. Until next week. Ciao.